All right, welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're going to dig into the psychology of coaching language and maybe, just maybe, completely change one of the most common habits in all of sports. And believe it or not, it all comes down to two little words. Yeah, these two words right here. Don't miss. Come on, we've all said it, right? And we've all heard it. And look, it comes from a good place. We're just trying to help our athletes avoid a mistake. But what if I told you that simple phrase is actually one of the worst things you can possibly say to an athlete when the pressure's on? So why? Why is that one little phrase so bad for performance? Well, the answer is all about how our brains chew on language, especially when things get tense. And trust me, getting a handle on this is going to give you a leg up like right away. Okay, so first up, let's talk about what your athlete actually hears, because I promise you, it is not what you think. Let's dive right into what's happening inside their head the second you say those words. This is a classic case of meaning well, but getting the total opposite result. Okay, picture this. You're on the sideline, game is on the line. It's tight. You yell out, "Don't miss the serve." And in your head, the intention is totally clear, right? You're thinking, hey, play it smart, get the ball in, let's not make an error here. Seems simple enough? But here is the absolute kicker. This is what they hear. The human brain, especially a brain under pressure, it deletes the word don't. It just zeroes in on the most powerful image in that sentence. And what's that? Miss the serve. So, without meaning to, you've just planted a big, vivid picture of the exact failure you're trying to avoid right into their head. This has a name, actually. We call it an avoidance cue. And it's exactly what it sounds like. It tells an athlete what not to do. But here's the key thing. It gives them absolutely nothing to move towards. It just leaves them in this mental fog, you know? They're stuck playing defense against a mistake instead of offense towards a goal. And man, this has so many hidden layers. That don't instruction, it doesn't land like advice. It lands like a warning. And what do warnings do? They create a fear of failure. They pull all the attention right onto the mistake. And physically, the body tenses up. Suddenly, your athlete isn't playing to win anymore. They're just playing not to lose. And that tiny bit of hesitation, that tightness, that's what absolutely murders fluid athletic movement. Okay, so that's the problem. What's the fix? Well, here's the good news. It is so simple and it's crazy effective. This isn't about yelling louder or coming up with some complex strategy. It's just about pointing their attention in a much, much better direction. So instead of those avoidance cues, we're going to swap them for actionable cues. Just look at the difference on this chart. It's night and day. Don't miss the serve? Nope. We say deep corner. Don't get blocked? Forget that. We say high hands. See what's happening? We're giving the brain a clear, positive job to do, not a disaster to run away from. Just think about it for a second. When you tell a server deep corner, what happens? Boom. Their mind instantly sees a target. All their focus gets pulled right to that spot, and their body just kind of naturally starts to organize itself to make that happen. You've given them a mission to accomplish, not a landmine to avoid. Or how about this one? High hands. For a volleyball hitter, a basketball player shooting over a big defender, it's such a simple physical cue. It gets them focused on the process of what a successful shot feels like, getting that contact point up and over the block. It's literally an instruction for success. And I love this one for any passing sport, really. A quarterback, a soccer player, telling them to see the seam pulls their eyes, their attention right to the opportunity. It's all about finding that gap in the defense. It's an offensive, forward-looking thought, which is a world away from the defensive, fearful thought of don't throw an interception. So here's the thing. Why do these simple cues win out every time? It's because under pressure, clarity beats complexity every single time. In those big moments, simplicity isn't just a nice little bonus. It's everything. It all boils down to this one simple rule of the brain, where attention goes, action follows. That's it. As a coach, your number one job in a pressure moment is to be a director of attention, because wherever their focus goes, their body is going to follow. Simple as that. Focus on the mistake, they'll get tight. Focus on a positive target, they'll execute. Right, so think about why the best cues are so simple. They aren't trying to cram a whole textbook lesson into a single moment. No, they give the brain just one job, one positive target to lock onto. And when you do that, you're trusting the athlete. You're letting all those thousands of hours of training just take over. You're not overloading their brain. You're handing them the key to unlock their skills. And this is where things get really cool. When you get good at this, you're not just a coach of mechanics anymore. You're not just teaching X's and O's. You are actively shaping the one thing that truly determines who wins and who loses in the clutch. And that's your athlete's attention. So maybe we need a new definition for great coaching. It's not just about the plays you draw up. Great coaching is the skill of shaping where your athlete's attention lands when it matters most. That's the game. Every single word that comes out of your mouth either helps sharpen that focus or it scatters it. And you know, this whole idea, this art of shaping attention with just a few precise words, it's not just a neat trick. It is the absolute heart of the mental performance skills system, or MPSS. The whole thing is built around giving coaches like you practical, real-world tools to build athletes who are not just skilled, but mentally tough and incredibly focused. So if any of this is clicking for you, and you want to take your coaching to the next level, we've got some great stuff for you. You can learn a whole lot more at our website, flowmpc.com. And we also put together these super handy athlete and coach pocket guides. They're just jam-packed with these kinds of simple, actionable strategies. And you can grab them right now on Amazon. All right, so I'm going to leave you with a question, a challenge, really. Think about your own coaching language. What is the one avoidance cue, that one don't statement that you can change to a positive one in your very next practice? Just pick one. Make that tiny little switch and just see what happens. That right there is the real power of shaping attention.